15 seconds. Guidance internal. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. Engines armed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engines running. Launch commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff. The tower is clear.
And we have a roll program. Roger. You have good thrust on all 5 engines. Science total, roll complete. Roger. And we have a pitch program. Roger. Roger, we're seeing the center of the Earth. Down a half. 30 seconds. Forward. Ready? Contact light. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. With my toe. So-called kangaroo hop does work, but it seems your forward ability is not quite as good as it is in the conventional, more conventional, one foot after another.
On top of the contributions to science and human understanding, for that brief moment, the man who wore this suit brought together our nation and the world. Now, true to their creed, astronauts have never liked being called heroes. And the man who wore this suit was especially resistant to such labels. But if Neil Armstrong was not a hero, then there are no heroes.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. With my toe. So-called kangaroo hop.
It took me almost 2 hours to get from here, from downtown. These suits not only represent the astronauts who went to the surface, but represent the women who sewed the suits together by hand, the women who used the glue pots to make the seal on the suits, the individual who thought of this idea of making a communications carrier assembly mounted on a human head instead of mounted in a helmet.
15 seconds, guidance internal, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, ignition sequence start, engines armed.
Really, our primary artifact is the suit itself here. It's the only thing that really tells the story of our trip to the moon and the Apollo 11 mission and what Armstrong had on his suit at the time. Nothing has been changed. And so it's really interesting to review all that information.
It's called a Snoopy cap because at the time, Charles Schulz's Peanuts cartoon strip was very popular, and it sort of looks like Snoopy. It looks sort of like a beagle's head with the brown ears and the white top, and Schulz was very much involved in the space program, and he even used some of his cartoon characters to do promotional and safety posters for the space program.
So the spacesuits are made up of a multiple amount of materials, over 24 layers. A lot of them we can't see. So we've been doing CT scanning, we've been doing X-radiography, different types of imaging to look within the layers to see how stable the suit is, if there's any issues that have evolved over time. One of our most challenging conservation concerns with space items is that they do have evidence from being on the lunar surface, and we don't want to remove that.
By the time of Apollo 17, which was the last mission, Cernan and Schmidt made the ad hoc decision that they would bring their lunar boots back. They were confident that they were still operating within the constraints that were placed on them for weight restrictions, but they also recognized that these were going to be the last human-worn objects to touch the surface of the moon, and they wanted to bring as much back as they could because they knew that that was the last Apollo mission.
4, 3, 2, 1, all engines running. Launch commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff. The tower is clear.
And we have a roll program. Roger. You have good thrust and all 5 engines. Transporter, roll complete.